This Saturday, I'm returning to Margate for the anniversary show of Colossus. Great promotions. They're all born in August. We all know that, right? There's this one right there, and then there's Coastal Clash. Coastal Clash 2, I was part of Coastal Clash 1, the main event. Team London School of Wrestling to take on Team Thanet School of Wrestling. I forgot the name of the academy, I'm sorry. It's not fair on them because I've been doing such good work with the trainees, right? Have you visited the Crab Museum yet? Not yet, no. I should, though. But get on up because we're going down to Margate. It's going to happen. Listen, it's been a very eventful year in Colossus for David Francisco. I was specifically asked to do something very specific. They saw my value. They saw the kind of experiences I'll be able to give the trainees and the young wrestlers, the green wrestlers from Thanet, because Colossus is also made for them, right? I was specifically asked clearly and used in a way to give these trainees an experience to be in the ring with a great wrestler, right? And someone that they could learn just by the experience, right? They would come out on the other side of these matches they have with me a better professional wrestler just because they were in the ring with me, and things will click. That's the reason why I'm coming to Colossus. That's the majority of the thing, if not the only thing that I've been doing there. There's only one problem, and that is that clearly the trainees at Thanet have an attitude problem. We all know that there are acceptable and non-acceptable behaviors in professional wrestling, especially when you're young and you're just starting out, especially when you're trying to make a name for yourself. And the way that these trainees have been behaving in Colossus is not a good representation. They are not representing their schools and the institutions that are giving them the shots well. And I gotta say this, I have to come here and I have to say this publicly. And I've been going through this firsthand, okay? A year ago, I was brought into the fold so that these students could finally get a chance to learn properly, right? It's enough. It's been more than enough. It's been long enough them basically being wrestling themselves where they get to learn nothing. They have to get new experiences. People say this, and it is true. There's no better learning experience in professional wrestling than to be in the ring with someone that is better than you. And clearly that is how Colossus has been using me, while at the same time they get to continue to feature the centerpiece on their shows, which has become a staple of wrestling in Margate. I am practically synonymous with wrestling in Margate if you really think about it. These trainees are not taking this beautiful and great opportunity they're not taking it well. They're not taking advantage of this opportunity properly, right? Let me show you a few of the matches that I've had in Colossus. I wrestled Alex Aces. Gave him one of the biggest experiences he had, just a great singles match. He clocked me with that moonsault. He didn't fully land on me with his body, right? Also, he learned ring awareness with this experience here. Alex Ace, as you can say, may be the crown jewel of the trainees in Thanet, right? One of the most experienced ones, definitely a lot of potential there.
Come on! Right behind the referee's back.
Made the mistake of trying to move the referee around and suffered from it. Beautiful ruckus.
Uranaki in the middle of the ring, catching of a low blow at David Francisco.
Fortunately, that ref knows the rules of wrestling. Yeah, you probably saw The Ultimate Guide to the Rules of Pro Wrestling by David Francisco. In the space of the 2 minutes I showed you, Alexis was immediately able to learn 2 lessons, which I'm very happy for him. And then this continued. More people wanted to have the same experience of just more people wanted to be in the ring with me. And I commend that I opened the arms for everybody. So I basically turned this into an open invitational. I have done the Thanet Open Invitational, where I'm inviting wrestlers and trainees from all around the region, faces in Colossus that want to learn and make a name for themselves and really take on the opportunity that's presented in front of them of being in the ring with someone, a genius of the ring like I am. And more trainees and young wrestlers wanted to take on that opportunity, including people who wanted to create an impact in their first matches in front of the biggest audience they had, like it was the case of Christopher Lore. Just the fact that he was in the ring with me immediately made him one of the biggest pro wrestling stars in the southeast of the UK.
Oh, look out. Big old splash attempt there. Nobody home for Christopher Lawrence.
And the biggest lesson that he got is that he needs to take advantage of the openings when they come in, because he took so long and played so much to the crowd as he was going for that splash because the Brennan was going to fly. I was able to see it coming, lure him in. Everstone kick, followed by the ruckus, and that's another win for David Francisco. Another great instance and another great example of me opening my arms and doing something for the scene around me, right? Afterwards was Xenothan. It wasn't supposed to be. Someone else had to respond to my open challenge. But then, on the day, he decided not to show up. We're gonna go around and go back to that. By now, these trainees were already being a little bit ungrateful in the opportunities that they had to be in the ring with me. And this situation here with Xenothan was another great example of it.
What a POS! I wish this wasn't going live on YouTube. I would say.
Well, it is live on YouTube. Damon Moser, you got a problem with that?
And it's over.
Got the win with the Medama clutch. What's the name of that hold, by the way? The Medama clutch? Medama or Medama? I think it's Medama. Medama clutch? This was the moment when people were really not appreciating. I just feel like everyone is not appreciative of the things that I'm doing for the scene in Margit and in Thanet. And this is just another great example of it, right? I am trying to teach by example. Xenothan clearly needed a lesson. So all the other trainees can pretty much learn by association as opposed to having to learn themselves. But then there's this idiot, Zaki-centric, who decided to step up to me as opposed to learning the lesson that I'm teaching someone else through Xenothan. Obviously, you wouldn't do anything, and good on the referee to try to do the right thing for Zaki-centric, so I don't hurt him anymore and put him on the shelf for another 6 months. Zaki-centric taking liberties. Yes, exactly. He's trying. The worst thing about it is that, like, this is clearly Xenothan's moment. This is about his learning opportunity, and he's trying to make it about himself, which is not fair on Xenothan or any of his companion trainees. What happened afterwards by the end of that show, I told Zaki-centric that I wanted him to answer my open challenge, which he did. I basically told him that if he was able to last 8 minutes, then he would have my spot in the Sink or Swim Rumble. If he's able to beat me in these 8 minutes, that's it. I'm not coming back to Colossus anymore.
Zach, stop posing, man! 30 seconds!
A bit of urgency,
you're right.
Please.
Come on,
Gio is
Zach!
correct.
Every single person in this building is behind you! Can he do it? David Francisco is trying with everything he's got! No, what? Low blow? We didn't even make it to the time limit because David Francisco went below the belt.
Dirty.
It's not dirty, right? I said that if you could last 8 minutes, you win. The lesson here is that Zaki-centric couldn't think ahead and understand the circumstances that were around him. He should be prepared for anything in that ring. And this will be a lesson that he'll be able to take with him for the future. Because he was posing and playing around, he didn't even get close to being a part of the Rumble. And he didn't even last the 8 minutes. I was in full control, and he had no point that he tried to take control.
You are a coward.
And a scumbag.
I'm not a coward, I'm teaching him a lesson. In professional wrestling in the ring, you have to be ready for anything, and he's not ready for anything. It's not being a coward, it's being smart. Exactly. It's not even being smart. I am bigger than the trainees. Look at him. I'm giving him the adulation that he wants, right? I'm bigger than the trainees in Thanet. I am trying to do something good for them. Because I am going to teach them lessons that maybe other people are not going to be able to. Like, they don't have to pay me for training, right? This one is for free. They get to be in the ring with someone like me. They get the big shots in their career. And they get a lesson. Zaki-centric made it so much about himself when he was playing around and everything that he forgot that I can just low blow him and stop the match at any time. I can get myself disqualified and stop my match at any time. And I don't lose anything. He loses everything. Far from me to question the methods, but can lessons be taught without taking him to the Dick Punch City? I suppose it's an efficient method, though. Tell me he's not gonna forget this lesson. I didn't put this in the presentation last week, but one of the matches that I've reffed that I mostly remember, that I'm more proud of when I was a referee in Portugal, was reffing El Generico versus one of the Portuguese wrestlers that was getting a shot at wrestling one of the biggest indie stars in the world at the time. If you don't know El Generico, it was just this masked wrestler from Mexico, just really, really good at professional wrestling, like seen as one of the top wrestlers on the scene. He eventually retired. I don't know if his body started to give in. I think actually he wanted to just do something good for the world, and he moved back to Mexico where he opened an orphanage, which is great. It's just beautiful that is the case, and I'm very happy for him. Lost track of him, but it was good. I was in the ring. There was something very specific that the Portuguese wrestler did that wasn't good, and Generico, during the match, wanted to teach that Portuguese wrestler a lesson, right? And he did. I was in the ring and I saw the lesson being taught, because I've never seen anyone being chopped so hard several times. This was nice friendly competition. At the end, backstage, they went back and saw each other again and shook each other's hands and all of that. And I specifically remember Generico saying about the lesson, I know you may feel like I went too far with these chops, but one, it's professional wrestling, we're allowed to do them. Two, you will never forget the lesson that I taught you in that ring. And this is the same thing. Zaki Centric will never forget the lesson that I taught him in that ring. A lesson that was obvious clearly for everybody except for him. You heard Gio yelling at him to stop posing and doing something. Giovanni Giorgio knows more about professional wrestling than Zaki Centric, obviously. Before this match with Xenothan, the person that was, and I think it was announced to reply to the open challenge, was Buck Garcia. And Buck Garcia wasn't available for the biggest day of his life for some reason. He clearly doesn't have his priorities straight. This is the biggest thing that has ever happened to him, and he decided to turn his back on him, using whatever excuse he wanted to use, when actually he was afraid because he realized the magnitude of the moment that he had when he was about to be in the ring with the centerpiece. So I just brought it up and I exposed it.
He decided to use some excuse that we all know the reason he made that up is because he didn't want to stand in his ring and face the centerpiece. I know, I would boo him too if I was in your position.
So in the day of the Sink or Swim Rumble, as I'm in the ring again dishing out lessons to all these freaking trainees, I wasn't aware, but apparently Buck Garcia was one of the entries in the Rumble.
Way more of Jordan than we wanted to. Oh, Alex Aces avoids the ruckus, but David Francisco avoids the Saito.
Oh, big left hands from David Francisco there.
Some lethal left hands.
Quite impressive to watch.
And here he comes. There it is. He missed out on the biggest opportunity of his life.
Buck Garcia has a bone to pick
and
with David Francisco.
Has the opportunity now to test himself with one of the greatest wrestlers he will ever be in the ring with, and he comes in with a horrible attitude.
He made it.
Uh-oh.
This bunch of West Coast...
Francisco hits the canvas hard.
This bunch of West Coast melts get together and gang up on me.
No way. Buck Garcia with an absolutely huge
David
upset.
Francisco's been eliminated!
Damon Moser just about leapt out of his seat.
I feel like I've just won the Rumble.
Clearly they've arranged this before, and they continue to not understand the great opportunity they have by being in the ring with me. And also, Margate doesn't understand it either, because you've seen the way that they reacted to this elimination. Out of the kindness of my own heart, I'm dedicating so much of my bandwidth to trying and helping these people, and these people just don't want to be helped. They clearly continue to reject any efforts of trying, any resemblance of trying to make them good enough and then to learn at this. I'm going to continue. I'm the adult in the room, and that includes the crowd. I don't think I've seen so much immaturity so concentrated in such a small space as I have lately when I go to Margate for Pro Wrestling Colossus. That's a conversation for another time. Clearly, I am the only person in the room that is mature enough to actually understand what's happening here. And out of the kindness of my own heart, I'm going to continue to educate and contribute to this next generation, even if the next generation continues to refuse my help. My efforts of doing what's right for the business and for the generations to come continues this Saturday, as I am going to be featured in the anniversary show of Colossus, Coastal Clash, and finally Buck Garcia gets the thing that he ran away from last time he had a shot to have it, and that is the opportunity to be in the ring with the centerpiece, the opportunity to feel what it's like to be under my spotlight. I don't just say this out loud like it's some sort of catchphrase with no meaning. This is important to them. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be getting the chance to shine like this. The only people that seem to not realize the importance that these moments have is the Thanet locker rooms. I will continue to make an example of this bunch of degenerates until they finally wake up and realize the mistakes that I've been making. They can either come and apologize, or I can knock some sense into them. It's their choice, not mine. Either way, I am doing it because it's the right thing and it's what the scene needs. And I am happy to be what professional wrestling needs. It just looks to me like in Thanet, what these trainees and these green wrestlers need is some tough love. Well, good thing I am such a loving person, isn't it?